You are watching a master at work.
What's happening, people? It's Steve Merkel here, or Merk for short. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day so far. Today's video is going to be episode 4 of Road to Destiny's The Dark Below DLC, which comes out December 9th. Today in Destiny, December 1st, we got a huge update with exotic buffs and all kind of other crazy stuff that we're about to go over, so let's get started. The first thing that comes from the patch notes is under the section General, and it reads, in preparation for the Dark Below, exotic armor and weapons no longer require ascendant materials to upgrade. The final upgrade node of all exotic gear will require an exotic shard. Exotic shards can be obtained by one of the following means: dismantling unwanted exotics or purchased from Xur for 7 strange coins. Exotics now start at a higher base attack value, which is 274, and have a narrowed upgrade range to compensate. That's pretty much it for general. That's pretty much the only thing they put in the general section, so now let's get on to the weapon buffs. First, the long-awaited buff of Thorn, the exotic hand cannon, and these are the changes made to Thorn. Projectiles now briefly highlight targets on impact. Mark of the Devourer, damage over time upgrade, increased against PvE enemy targets. The reload speed increased. Magazine size increased to 9, ammo inventory size increased, stability and weapon handling increased. So that is a pretty big buff, and I think Thorn will be pretty good now. Next we have Bad Juju, which has also been long awaited. Magazine size increased to 8 burst, it was 5. Ammo inventory size increased. String of Curses now also decreases the cooldown of your super on kill, and adjusted effects to not block first person reticle. After Bad Juju is Hard Light, which gets a minor buff, stability increased, and Perfect Balance upgrade replaced by Fitted Stock, which increases maximum possible weapon stability. So Hard Light, it's a great weapon, auto rifle or weapon, but it is absolutely uncontrollable. So the stability upgrades are going to help a lot. The next weapon we're going to be looking at is a very popular PvP weapon, Suros Regime. Suros Regime actually gets a nerf, which is lowered total damage at the end of the mag on Suros Regime upgrade to be more in line with the glass half full perk on legendary auto rifles. So the second half of the Suros Regime magazine will now do less damage than it did. The next weapon is only for PlayStation people, the Monte Carlo. It gets these: stability increased, great. Range slightly decreased, not so good, and the Monte Carlo method upgrade now also has a chance to fully charge melee ability on kill, which is pretty unique and pretty awesome. I've never used it because I only play on Xbox, but I think the Monte Carlo was pretty good, and now it just gets even better. The next weapon is an exotic scout rifle called Mida Multi-Tool, and it gets only one change, which is Mida rounds now have increased knockback against targets in both PvE and PvP. Not too big a deal. The next weapon is also an only PlayStation weapon. It's the Hawk Moon, and it gets Send It upgrade, which was redundant, replaced by Speed Reload. So, never play with the Hawk Moon. Again, I'm only on Xbox, but if a perk was redundant, I'm glad they changed it. The next weapon is Red Death, which we probably all know and some have because Xur sold it. Gets rate of fire increased slightly, but burst damage reduced to compensate. So, not sure if it needed that. Never really used it, but you increase the rate of fire, it makes sense to lessen the damage. Next on the list is Plan C, a weapon that Xur was selling just this past weekend. So most of y'all probably have it, so listen up. It gets weapon handling speed increased and player speed increased while Plan C is in hand. Plan C was pretty overpowered as it is, so with any buffs, even though it's not damage or accuracy buff, it's just speed. Now you get to run around like a crazy person, especially hunters being so fast already. They're going to really dominate with this weapon now. Next, my favorite weapon in the game is Pocket Infinity. It gets Speed Reload upgrade replaced by Extended Clip, which allows the option to increase magazine size into 5 bursts. So, when Pocket Infinity originally came out, it was a fully auto, 8 clip in the magazine fusion rifle. Then they decreased it to 3, and then used the Speed Reload perk to replace Extended Clip. And now they are bringing it back, Extended Clip that is, they're bringing Extended Clip back. Speed Reload is no longer, and now it's not 8, not 3, but right in the middle at 5. So any more bullets in this, I'm absolutely going to love. Now I'll be able to get a lot more kills with 1 clip. And finally, the Vex Mythoclast. The Vex Mythoclast is a gun that is only a hard rate drop at the end on Atheon and needs to be the most OP gun in the game. It gets these awesome changes. Attack power increased to 323 from 300. and that is going to make it the most dominant PvE weapon, at least until the Dark Below comes out and those weapons start get upgrading. The next, base damage increased, fixing bug we introduced in previous patch. So what this tells me is it was way high, then they brought it too low, now they're finding a damage somewhere in the middle. The next one is enhanced battery upgrade by extended mag. This change still allows for a significant upgrade to magazine size, but less than before. I'm okay with this, 56 in the clip with the extended mag perk was a little ridiculous, so I'm okay that they're bringing it down. Invective is the next weapon we're going to look at, and it gets only one change. Reload speed increased significantly, and auto fire slightly slower, which I don't know about you guys, but I get destroyed with Invective in PvP, so I'm kind of glad it's going to reload slower, or reload faster, but fire slightly slower. I'm kind of glad about that. And now Icebreaker gets a couple changes as well. Extended upgrade replaced by lightweight, which was redundant as Icebreaker already had maximum range. And new effects for enemies killed by Icebreaker upgrade. So interested to see what the new effects are, but that's not too big of a change, but I'm interested to see what those extra effects are. Patience and Time is also a weapon that most of you probably have from Xur. It gets only one change as well, which is Snapshot upgrade replaced by Custom Optics, provides a lower zoom option. So not that big a change, probably won't go unnoticed, but probably not too many people will care. Super good advice, in my opinion, is a light machine gun that is unusable, and it gets only one change, which is stability increased. I don't know if too many of you have super good advice from the exotic bounty, but it is absolutely horrible. You cannot use it because the stability is so wild and non-existent. It just goes all over the place. So with only one change being stability increased, I hope it is now through the roof and it's an actual gun that we can use. Truth, on the other hand, is a very usable gun, and it gets one change as well. Magazine size increased to 3, was 1. Not sure what's going on about this because Truth fires 2 in a clip. Well, it fires 2 rockets. It only has 2 in a clip, but apparently now it's 3, which, I can't complain because I don't have Galahorn yet, so I use Truth. That wraps up the guns. Next is going to be some activities, which is Raid. Fixed an issue we introduced in a previous patch in which Atheon did not correctly send 3 players through the time gates, and fixed an exploit where the Templar could be forced off its platform. So, what this means is, what this means to me is that no longer are 2 or 1 player going to get teleported. Always 3 players will be teleported, which is awesome because that should not happen and that ruins a lot of Atheon runs. Next, the Templar will not be able to be knocked off. It will not move or fall off the map, which a lot of people are not going to get past that now because that's the only way they got past it. This isn't too big of a deal because, the new raid's about to come out and not many people will be playing the old raid. But, people that are still running it this week and next week and stuff like that, they're probably going to be a little butthurt that they can't get past that now. The next couple things we have, in my opinion, are very good changes and changes that have been needed. First, we have destination materials now drop from completing the daily heroic. So what that means, if you do a daily heroic on Venus, you will get Spirit Bloom. If you do a daily heroic on the moon, you will get helium filaments, all from the drop, which is absolutely essential and should be added and should have been added a long time ago. Next, we have removed the Relic Hunter bounty. And destination materials now drop from completing the daily patrol bounty. So when you do the daily patrol bounty, which is, complete 6 patrols on this specific planet, when you complete that, you will get the destination materials for that planet. So if it says, do 6 patrol missions on the moon, you do that, you turn in the bounty, you will get helium filaments when you turn that in. And with the vendors now, there's a couple changes to the vendors, okay? So reduce Cryptarch reputation gain from engrams, but reputation reward packages now have an increased chance for legendary engrams. So you get less points towards leveling up your Cryptarch with each engram you encode or disencode or whatever, but you have more of a chance of getting a legendary one when you finally do level them up. Next, players will now be able to use Vanguard marks and Crucible marks to purchase Spin Metal, Relic Iron, Spirit Bloom, and Helium filaments from the Vanguard and Crucible Quartermasters in the tower. Again, this is an awesome change. I hate farming materials. It is the most monotonous thing to do in Destiny, and if I can just go buy them, that makes my life a lot easier. Next, we have Xur now sells a new material, Exotic Shards, to upgrade the final node of exotics for 7 strange coins. We went over this, earlier in the video. Finally, we have faction class items, example, FWC Cloak, Dead Orbit Mark, etc. are now replaced by faction emblems in the rank up reward packages from faction vendors. So, it looks like that means that you will have to equip their emblem instead of their cloak or mark. So you can wear whatever cloak or mark you want, or whatever class item you want, as long as their emblem is equipped, then you're getting that rank. Okay guys, that about wraps up the video. I've probably rambled and went really fast, but I just wanted to pump this out to you guys because this is a lot of changes and I feel like a lot of people are going to want to know this. I got on my Xbox tonight and I got the update, then I looked it up and it is just an awesome change and I just cannot wait for next week's The Dark Below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy today's video and leave a comment telling me what you think. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later, daters.